All right. Hey, I think I'm up and running. Let's verify that's true, and then we'll get to work. One second. Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check, mic check. Yeah, it sounds really good. All right, good. Let's drop that down to tolerable levels. I'm gonna do some quick cut pasting just to boost the social medias real fast, and then we'll get to work. If you're new to the channel, thanks for checking it out. For those that have been here for a while and know the score, you can skip ahead a minute, and we'll be done with all the intro, preppy, whatever stuff. Now, for those that are new to the channel or caught here in space-time with me here now, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, and I publish them online, and I create content for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. The Artificer just dropped for 2024. I work in the Spellpoint arena. I created the Color Magic, Magic the Gathering Color Mana Spellpoint variant rule system, the 4 Elements mana system, the Universal Spell Points, along with Spelljammer Combat and Exploration. I was a part of the Subclasses Revivified for 2024 on the DMsGuild. And so we are continuing our effort of translating the entire game into mana mechanics. I need to turn the volume down a bit more. It's too much of an echo going on for me. Right, so we've been working on, you can catch the playlists for this stuff on my live stream list here on YouTube. We've been on, we have the Spellpoint Warlocks, which just went gold medal bestseller. We have the, let's see, we've been working on the Spellpoint Sorcerer, and now we're working on the Spellpoint Artificer. We also have the Martial Powers book, which converts all the martial and half-casters into a Book of 9 Swords sort of martial magic mana system, so that a Boros Swift Blade could be using your mana supply to like trigger haste and celerity effects on yourself, or popping first strike to gain advantages and whatever. So anyway, here's a stack of books that I've published on DMsGuild. Check the stuff out. It all has free previews. Today, again, we're working on the... Wait a second. Oh, this is I'm looking at Bastion stuff. That's not actually accurate. What I actually want to be doing is, hold on real quick. Let's go to YouTube real fast here, and then let's go to content, and let's go to live, and then let's go down to, I grabbed the wrong thing. Hold on, I want to go here. This is what I want to do, and collect all of this, and then pop back a beat, and then drop down into here, and then go like that, and this is going to be spell classes, Artificer, Spell Point Artificer 2024 subclasses. Save. And now let's go back to the channel, and there, okay, we're updated. Spellpoint Artificers, thanks a lot. So, hey, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Hey, cool, new subscribers. Thanks a lot, guys. Notification for when we're live in the future. Here is the Martial Powers document that we're going to be using to work on the Artificer. If you click the Martial Powers button here on Patreon, you do not need to be a Patreon member. Bless you if you are. But all you got to do is click that button. That'll take you to this read-only document. It's look, don't touch for you. And when we publish it on like everything else that we have on DMsGuild, like for example, let's look at Spellpoint Warlocks real quick. Gold medal, despite being pay what you want. That's amazing. Thank you. But the entire document is, you can read the whole thing. It has the 2014 mana, the 2014 spell points that's in the DMsG, which are not very intuitive at all. I think they intentionally made it unintuitive, because if you made it simple, like a 1-to-1 point ratio, I think they would have had like an overwhelming audience majority saying, why are we bothering with spell points? Why are we bothering with spell slots when we could just have a mana pool? And I don't think they were ready for that. But this is I've been using this for 7 years. I've ran more than one, I ran an entire 20 level campaign using it. and I've ran multiple campaigns from like level 1 to 5, 6 to 8. I think I had a one shot at 12th and 13th level. So I've had a lot of playtesting with this over the past 7 years. It's solid. It's basically just when you break it down, you just add up the number of spell point slots worth of spells that your character would normally get, and you just round it down to the nearest 10. So you end up having 20 mana for a Warlock. And then if you go and when you get into Mystic Arcanum with the high magic, if you don't use 3rd level spell slot, if you don't use 10th level spell slots, then you can cap your mana at 30, because 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6 equals 30. So over the course of 20 levels, your Warlock would have 20 mana that you could spend 1 point per level, so you don't have to always cast it at the highest spell slot. You just have a short rest mana supply, just like the Monk does. But instead of getting all the Monk abilities at higher levels, you get Mystic Arcanum instead for 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. And then we have Wish as a 10th, as like the only 10th level spell in the game, and we give you access to that as kind of like a capstone feature that you could request your patron to change reality on your behest. So you get a mana supply for that, and this is long rest mana because Mystic Arcanum is only once per day. So over the course, like if you have 2 short rests per day, then that's 80 mana, and the Wizard from level 1 to 20 has 80 mana and then has its full list. So all the mana actually balances out with the number of spell slots that you would get in the game. If you just want to disperse them the same way as you do with spell slots in the game, then go right ahead. Otherwise, you can break them down and cast as many first level spells as you want. Most games don't have more than, say, 13, maybe 15 rounds of combat per 6-7 hour session. If you only run 3-hour sessions, you might have like maybe 10 rounds or even 5 rounds of combat. So you don't have to really worry about how many points they have, because if you're having deadly level encounters, the DMG5e24 is actually doing a really good job of being able to balance the power that characters like these can wield. So it works out really well. Let's see, but that wasn't the point. The point was that all my books are free preview. So go check them out if you like them, enjoy them. Here's the document that we've been working on for the martial power system. We have all 13 classes in here updated for, it's because I'm just compiling them here, and it's an easy document for you guys to reference. But if I keep scrolling down, I eventually get past the half casters and past the Warlock, and we finally arrive. Let's keep going. We finally arrive at the Artificer. Here we go, Artificer. Yeah. So we've already broken down and updated it check the last 2 sessions for the Artificer updates to see how we updated magical tinkering. Like, for example, the changes that we made here is they gave us a list of things that you could do for 1 hour per day times intelligence modifier. Since we have spell points, you can get incredibly granular with the use of spell points, such as a magical action while holding Tinker Tools, you can create 1 item in an unoccupied space within 5 feet of yourself. If you can choose an item from the adventuring gear list in the player's handbook that weighs up to 10 pounds and costs up to 2 gold pieces. Literally everything that's in, let's pluck it. You're gonna pluck it. Every item in the list of the Artificer that they have listed, here it is. All these items are 2 gold pieces and less and weigh less than 10 pounds. But there's other items on the list, and you can add items to this list as you please by following those rules of if it weighs up to 10 pounds and it costs up to 2 gold, then you can create it. So assuming it's not consumable, like oil, ink, and food, water. There's food, like rations. There's food on the adventuring gear list, so you can't make that. That also helps cut off you getting access to poisons and potions and medicines like that before you should. For example, you could create a pole, which is 7 pounds and 5 copper pieces, a lamp, which is 1 pound and 5 silver pieces. It's a complex tool, but it's still within parameters. And then you have manacles, for example, are 6 pounds and 2 gold pieces. All of these items, even though, a pole isn't complicated at all, but a lamp is very complicated, much more complicated than manacles are. But chains weigh too much, so you don't get access to those until later. Hey, Steve, it's good to see you. I like food and water, too. The DM can allow additional items not on the list to be created. So then it becomes, if it's not on the adventuring gear list, could I make this instead? Absolutely. Does it fit within the parameters? Yes, you can. The item vanishes after 1 hour, or you can expend 1 point of mana for the item to vanish after 24 hours instead. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of once, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. You can also expend 1 point of mana, no action required, to regain 1 use. If you create more items than your intelligence modifier, the newest item replaces the oldest item vanishes as the new item is created, period. There you go. So now you can burn your entire mana pool just making junk if you want, and you can sustain it all day. So a 20th level Artificer has, it's still cap at 5. So once you get to 10th level as an Artificer, you'd have 10 mana to throw around, so you can make 5 items, and then you can sustain them for a full 24 hours. And then you could replace all of them once as well. That'd be up to 10 mana. Or, you can cast this bunch of spells instead. Like these are one of the modifications that we made to help make these things more useful. And it's also a mana sink, because it's really easy just to chip in little pieces of mana here and there if you have cool little things to do with it. You have a good battery. Like once you get to higher levels, you've got a decent battery you can just burn through. The way that it's currently configured is with the play testing that we've been doing for the martial powers, we have the mana set at short rest 20 mana at 20th level, so one per level. And then at second, that's a little restrictive at first level, sure, but you can cover the gap with cantrips, sure. At second level, once you get to replicate magic items, then you can start creating magic items. If you are having a shortage of mana, we introduced if I can scroll down and find it. Thank you. Let's go down to the magic items. Mana crystals. There you go. Requires level 2. You can draw ambient energy mana from the environment, condense it into a small crystal. The crystal contains a number of mana equal to 1 plus the max level spell level that you can prepare as an Artificer. As a magic action, a creature can expend all or a portion of mana in the crystal to restore the same amount of mana, and it's basically a mana potion that you create. So if you're at second level, when you get access to this, then you get an extra 2 mana on a long rest, which means that starting at second level, you basically have 4 mana per day, which is 4 first level spells. So you immediately catch up just by empowering just by creating a mana crystal, and then you keep up. So there's a little bit of if you take 2 short rests on your during first level, you're pacing fine. And then when you add mana crystal at second, you never fall behind. So let's see, we have the replicating magic items. So we built out the plans. You can gain plans up to legendary magic items. And here's the total amount. Here's the total attunements. We're using this for a bastion system. So you have to have magical plans to be able to make magic items with your bastion. And we also have the kicker effect that while you're making the magic item, or while your bastion's making the magic item, you have to attune to it. So this is going to keep you from being able to abuse having a bastion make a whole bunch of magic items for you while you're away. It's just a balancing factor. So the Artificer is particularly keyed to being able to attune to a whole bunch of stuff. So if you're on crafting duty, you can oversee the crafting of at 18th level 6 magic items being produced at the same time, and you can produce blueprints for making magic items. You have up to 8, so you can hand off to your bastions. Here's the blueprints. Go make this thing. I give you my attunement, and then you can walk away. Or they can help you, and then you'll be almost guaranteed to make it successfully. Crafting items. We have replicating. So this is talking about crafting the items with your bastion. This is talking about replicating items on the fly as a long rest, wake-up action. So our scaling 2, 6, 10, 14, 18, we simplified it. We allow you to make scrolls and potions. If you just want to make a healing potion because you need some fucking hit points, then make a healing potion. Get some hit points. And that's alchemist stuff. So it would just make sense that anyone can do that. An alchemist will be able to do it better. You can make scrolls. Obviously, it's got to be a spell that you know. Easy enough. It gives you an extra spell that you can have. We were talking about having a mana supply earlier. Well, at second level, you can craft scrolls on top of having mana crystals, so you can double or triple up on the amount of mana that you want if you want to start mana dumping as your character identity, which you start doing at second level. Uncommon items, anything that doesn't require attunement. You can make an uncommon item for at 6th, and then at 10th level, it can be any uncommon item, whether you can attune to it or not. 14th level, you can make rare magic items, but you can't attune to them. You can't create attunement rare items until 18th level. This 18th level, by the way, this is when those, I believe this is when the ridiculously powerful magic items come into effect. Let's look at, what is it, empowered armor? I saw you saw it. You saw it. I saw you saw it. You saw it. Ooh, see, you're right there. I spelled it the same way, but you didn't like it. Empower armor. War magic. Embarrassing to be in front of all my friends. How about empowered armor? I know this thing exists. Armor. How about let's just try to find it through the DMG on our own. This tracking tool is the worst. I'm going to get through this, and then we're going to start working on the subclasses. So let's see if I can find a fucking magic item. Magic items, A to Z. Enspelled armor. That's what it is. Thank you. Enspelled armor. I just lost it. Rarity varies. Oh, brandy, bound into this armor, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Rarity uncommon, and it requires attunement. So, like, for example, you could get a first level with this system. Uncommon item that doesn't you could get uncommon item that requires attunement at 10th level. So you'd get your enspelled armor from your artificer at 10th level, and then you'd get your rare, which could go up to 3rd level. You would get that from your artificer at 18th level. So the problem of having like ridiculous amounts of spell power, because you get 6 charges for the spell. And then you don't get it back every day because you just reinspell the armor every day. So you basically get 6 free spells for every magic item that you get, and you get a total of 6 at 18th level. So spell, staff, sword, wand. That's 4, which can have 6 each. That's a total of 24 spells. Up to 3rd level at 18th, up to 2nd level at 10th. So it's a little it's 1st level. It's 1st level at 10th, and it doesn't become 2nd or 3rd level until 18. See, it's not as bad, but it's still a lot of spell power. It's just an extra 6 mana at 10th. Well, times 4, but whatever. So there's a stacking. The problem isn't the class. The problem is the magic item. This is way too generous with your charges. It should be. Well, I think it was Mike Shea at Sly Flourish said 1 charge would be enough. I could agree with that. 1 or 2 items, have 1 charge on it, and then if you're a spellcaster, you can spend spell slots to cast it again. I think that's the sensible way of doing it. The nice thing about this system, though, is that the DM can just simply say, yeah, you don't have access to that. I'm not allowing that spell. Or you can have that spell, but I only allow you to have 1 use of it because it's my game and I think that's broken. Ask me something else. So you can do that thing if you want. Rare items. When you finish a long rest, you can replicate a number of items determined by your level as listed on the table below. Number of items with rarity. Determined by your level as described on the table below. that are approved. And you don't have to write in that are approved by your DM. DM automatically trumps all other rules. When a player says, but my character gets this, the DM's trump card is my campaign. We talked about this at session 0. And if you don't talk about it at session 0, that's your fault for being a crappy DM. Have session 0s. Lay stuff out. And if you forget it, bring it up as soon as you can remember. Artificer subclasses, there we go. So we got a right tool for that. Oh, by the way, right tool of the job, your ability to create stuff expands. So it can go up to 20 pounds and 50 gold pieces, which includes all of the adventuring packs and some poisons. So, oh wait, nope, still can't make consumable stuff, but it does include like adventuring pack, clothing, tent, more complicated, useful stuff that you would need to have for 24 hours. So cool. Okay, great. That solves all of that. Now let's get into the Artificer subclasses. Artificers gain all their subclass features with the below modifications. If a feature isn't described here, it remains unchanged as written in the microtransaction packet on D&D Beyond. Because I'm sure I don't think this is going to be part of a book. I think they're just going to sell it as its own thing, as a test to see how much do people actually like Artificers. I don't think it's going to be in a book. Let's see. I'll be pleasantly surprised if it is, but I just don't see it. So, okay, great. Let's go to the document. We're going to start building out and this is the first time I've looked at the revised subclasses. So, this will be fun. Let's see if I can zoom that in a bit. All right, so we're looking here. Flavor is free, so do as you please. Cantrips. Oh, this is spells and stuff. Okay, great. Blah, 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 blah. All right, here we go. Subclasses are Alchemist. Craft magical elixirs and potions. An alchemist is an expert at combining reagents to produce magical effects. Alchemists use their creations to give life and to leech it away. Design notes. Here are the main updates to the subclass since its appearance in Tasha's Cauldron. Everything. Alchemist spells have been replaced. Has replaced Blight with Vitrolic Sphere. Tool proficiencies. You now have have the Artificer to craft potions fast. Now allows to craft potions faster. Experimental elixir now produces more elixirs. The healing of the healing elixir has increased, and the 6th row of the table now lets you choose an elixir's effect. Restorative agents you have been has been changed to connect the temporary hit points to your level, and chemical mastery has been redesigned. It now includes extra damage, resistance, and the ability to cast Tasha's Bulb and Cauldron. Cool. Okay, cool. So let's just break it down to make sure we know where we're at. You gain proficiency with the Alchemist supplies. If you already have this proficiency, you gain proficiency in another tool. In addition, when you brew a potion using the crafting rules in the Dungeon Master's Guide, the amount of time required to craft is halved. We have banding for crafting magic items. It either takes there's common, uncommon, hold on. Let's just go look at it real quick. Here. Empowering magic items. Common items, common and uncommon items take a week. Rare and very rare take a season, and legendary takes a year. So you can reduce a week down to a day. We have that reduction principle. So that's what we get to implement for the there we go. For the Alchemist. Let's get back on track here, Kearney. Here. Level 3, tool proficiency. Tool proficiency. You gain proficiency in alchemical tools or choose one. Alchemist supplies. My bad. Alchemists. Or choose another tool. In addition, okay, and in addition, when you craft when you brew a potion, is that how we word it? Yeah. When you brew a potion, reduce the time required by 1 degree. Rarity. Time reduced. I think we're going to be coming back and visiting this table frequently. Oh, wait. I don't use 5 in this one. Common, uncommon, rare, very rare, legendary. Time, week. Week, thank you. Week, season, year. Season, week, day. This suddenly becomes really useful. Being able to create common or uncommon magic items and craft in a single day. That's really good. You still have to have the plans for it, but you can build the thing. So you can start building shit for the rest of your team. In addition, when you brew a potion, reduce the time required by 1 degree. There we go. Weege. Alchemist spells. Okay. Experimental elixir. Whenever you finish a long rest while holding alchemist supplies, you can use that tool to magically produce 2 elixirs. For each elixir, roll on the experimental elixir table for the elixir's effect, which is triggered when someone drinks the elixir. The elixir appears in a vial, and the vial vanishes when the elixir is drunk or poured out. If any elixir remains when you finish a long rest, the elixir and its vial vanish. As a bonus action, a creature can drink the elixir or administer it to another creature within 5 feet of itself. Creating additional elixirs. As a magic action, while holding alchemist supplies, you can expend 1 spell slot to create another elixir. Generally speaking, when something requires you to expend a spell slot, because of the way that Dungeons and Dragons scaling in 5th edition works, that's 2 spell points. So your 3rd level character having access to this, if they want to create extra elixirs, it costs them 2 points. A paladin that wants to gain access to another use of its channel divinity feature has to expend 2 spell points. There's a lot of a bard that, or a ranger that wants to summon its pet after it's been destroyed, 2 spell points. So that 2 spell point is a through line for all the classes, and it actually scales pretty well because half casters have half of the slots that full caster have effectively. So they have half as many, like a full caster. An actual full caster, if you add up all their spell slots that they get, it's 89. If you add up all the spell slots that a half caster gets, it's 41. So you round 41 down to 40, and you round 89 down to 80. Those 9 extra points is basically kind of like the bonus 6th and 7th level spell slot you get. With our system, you get 5 spells per day of any level that you want. It'll cost 6 mana for a 6th level spell, 9th level for 9 for a 9th level spell. Wish is a 10th level spell that full casters could get access to, or like Divine Intervention for a cleric, for instance. And so if you want to cast your 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th, and 5th level spell slots all together, that'll cost you 40 mana. And that's half the supply that a full caster has at 20th level. You're draining their battery really fucking fast. They might want to be able to throw around like a second 8th level spell that day. And honestly, that's never broken any game that I've running it that way. But they also might want to throw around like 5 or 6 6th level spells, burn through half their pile, kicking a 6th level spell every combat encounter. That's also fine. They're there to win the game by expending the resources the way that they want to, because the challenges that you're presenting in the game are forcing them to expend their resources to stay alive. If they have to spend resources to stay alive, you're doing a good job challenging them as a DM. You don't have to think any further than that. You don't have to be like, oh, they're using too many spells, or oh, they're killing monsters too easy. Are they enjoying throwing spells? Are they having fun killing monsters? Are they running the 3 to 5 rounds of combat for each? Are they having fun having 2 to 4 combats per session? If all these answers are yes, then there's nothing wrong. The reason why D&D is not adversarial in construction, when you're looking at the dynamic across the DM screen, the DM is not the adversary of the player, because it's the job of the DM to accept failure every die roll. The team is constantly going to fail forward. You are presenting win-loss challenges, and then have the world update and respond to the solutions they come up to overcome that challenge. There is no ego on the side of the DM. This isn't about you. Your enjoyment of the game is building something and then watching how the characters destroy it, so that you can build it again. Just like some players like to kill their characters because they want to make a new character and see how it works. DMs should be that kind of a player. Constantly destroy your game, destroy your dungeon, kill your hero, kill your villain. Let them save the princess, or rout the orc horde. Just let them win. Don't let them win. Give them challenges that when they win, they've earned that victory. But don't be attached to, I can't have them beat my big bad evil guy the first session. Or then don't put them in front of them to get killed. Because if players can do it, they're going to fucking do it. And if they can't, they're going to find a way that they can. It might take them a couple levels trying, but they're going to keep trying and they'll eventually succeed. It's like if you don't want your players killing something, don't wag it out there as something for them to kill, because they'll kill it. They're just dogs. They're just going to chase after toys and play tug of war and fetch with you, because that's a player's party is basically playing with a dog. It's the same kind of idea. So yeah, don't give them toys to play with and then be angry that they tear them apart. It's like, it's a dog. They chew on things for fun. What else is going to happen? Or build something that's more resilient, that can endure that chewing. Anyway, I'm ranting. Creating additional elixirs as a magic action while holding... Oh, that's right, 2 points. That's the spell slot. When you do so, you choose one of the effects below. You can reach certain artificer levels. You can make an additional elixir at the end of each long rest. A total of 3 at 5th, 4 at 9, 5 at... and 5 at 15. That's not so bad. Healing, swiftness, resilience, flight. You determine the elixir's effect by choosing one of the other rows of this table. That's a weird way to word that. Alchemical savant. When you cast a spell using your alchemist supplies as the spell casting focus, you gain a bonus to one roll of the spell. That roll must restore hit points or be a damage roll that deals acid, fire, necrotic, or poison damage. The bonus is equal to your intelligence modifier. Restorative agents. You can incorporate restorative reagents into some of your works, granting the following benefits. Fortify. When you drink an elixir you created with the experimental elixir feature above, the creature gains temporary hit points equal to your intelligence modifier plus your artificer level. Wow, that's not bad. Restore. You can cast Lesser Restoration. That's a 2nd level spell slot. By expending a spell slot, you can cast Lesser Restoration without expending a spell slot and without preparing the spell, providing you use alchemist supplies as the spellcasting focus, you can do so a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Holy Hannah. But it's just lesser restoration, huh? Okay. Huh. Okay. And then Chemical Mastery, Alchemical Eruption. When you cast an Artificer spell that deals acid, fire, necrotic, or poison damage to a target, you can also deal force damage to that target. Huh. I'd say just add extra damage. You gain resistance to acid damage and poison damage. Conjured Cauldron. You can cast Tasha's Bulbing Cauldron without expending a spell slot, without preparing the spell, and without material components, providing you use alchemist supplies as the spellcasting focus. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. Okay. I'm good with virtually all of this. Oh, something that I need to take a look at again. Mana storing item. You can store mana in a spell casting focus. I wanted to change that. You can store mana in a spell casting focus. At 11th level, you can store 3 mana, and you can increase the amount by an additional 3 mana when you gain an additional Artificer level up to 30 at 20th level. What this does is it's giving us a long rest mana supply on top of the short rest supply that we're currently using here for the art. We could switch this over and just make it 2 per level and then cap at 40 at 20th level. But currently we've been using the short rest mechanic, and if you'll notice that 30 mana lock steps with the long rest mana that the Warlock gets. So the Warlock and the Artificer using this mana storage item are both getting 20 short rest and 30 on a long rest. So that actually jives. And the full casters get 80, right? So they have, without any short rest, they get 80 mana per day at 20th level. So if you take 2 short rests, you get 10 mana more than what the wizard would get, but then the wizard has Arcane Recovery, which is an extra 10 mana. So technically, the wizard gets 90 mana per day, and the Artificer, if it takes 2 rests, has 90 per day as well. You start with 20, and then 2 long rests is 60, and then you have your mana supply. Where'd it go? Mana storing item. There you go. That gives you an extra 30, so that puts you at 90, parallel to where the wizard and the druid. The sorcerer has 100, so because of sorcery points, it has more. But and it also has recovery as well, so it ends up with 110. So there you go. It all balances out. You can store mana and you can increase the amount of additional by an additional 3 mana when you gain an additional Warlock level up to 30 mana at 20th level. When you finish a long rest, any spent mana in the item is regained unless you choose a new item as your mana storing item, if any. As a bonus action, you or any creature holding the item can regain a number of mana equal to the maximum level. As a bonus action, a creature, while holding the focus, any creature can use a bonus action to regain up to 3 spent mana to give itself or another creature within 5 feet up to 3 mana. Up to 3 spent mana. There. Once all mana has been given away, a creature cannot gain more mana this way than its maximum total of mana, period. There you go. Fix that. So let's go back down to alchemist stuff. Whenever you finish a long rest. All right, when you finish a long rest while holding alchemist's supplies, you can create 2 elixirs that appear in vials. Roll on the elixir effects table below to determine what elixir is created, or you can expend 2. Wait for it. Huh. 1. Or you can expend 1 mana to choose. We're gonna make it 2. You can spend 2 mana to choose one of the effects. As a bonus action, a creature holding the elixir can consume Where is it? Which is triggered when someone drinks the elixir. No. No, that's horrible. That is a horrible option. Here, drink this. Is it going to help? Fuck if I know. I'm really hurt. I'm dying. Here, have some fly speed. No, you're going to be able to determine what the fuck it is. God, it's just, this is horrible. I'm just going to be snarky about it and say that's stupid. So, when you finish a long rest while holding alchemist supplies, you can create 2 elixirs that appear in vials. Roll on the elixir effect table below to determine what elixir is created, or you can expend 2 mana to choose one of the effects. Wait for it. Roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Effect. Elixir effect. Did I spell elixir wrong? There we go. Good. Elixir effect. And then the rest of the language. Okay, so when you finish a long rest while holding alchemist supplies, you can create 2 elixirs that appear in vials. Roll on the elixir effects table below to determine what elixir is created. Or you can expend 1 mana to choose one of the effects. You can spend 2 mana to create additional elixirs of your choice. But you are limited to your maximum amount of elixirs at any time. As a bonus action, a creature holding an elixir is a drink. Yeah, drinks. When a creature holding a creature holding an elixir can drink it or administer it to another creature within 5 feet. Okay, that figures that all out. Let's look at our list of options. Beep, 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 beep. Healing. Healing. 2d8 plus 2. Is that right? No, 2d8 plus int modifier. Swiftness. One hour. Resilience. Gain +1 AC for 10 minutes. Good thing I didn't need to fly. That's not really good. +1 armor class. That's not really good. +2 isn't great either, but it's better than 1. Swiftness, resilience, boldness. Roll 1d4, add the number rolled to attacks and saving throws for 1 minute. That +2 is the average of d4. It's technically balanced that way. And you're going to be taking more hits than you're going to be dealing them out, most likely. So that's actually pretty well balanced. Flights. Gain. Fly speed of 10 feet for 10 minutes. Choose one from above. You can spend 1 mana. You can spend 2 mana to create additional elixirs of your choice, but you are limited to your maximum amount of elixirs at any time. By your level to you're limited by your level to how many elixirs can be created can exist at once at 5th level. Five equals 2. How's it stack? Three, two, 3, 2, 5, 3. What's the next one? 9, 4. 13, 5. 17, 6. Is that right? Three, 5. Okay. Yeah, fuck you. Let's do it that way. That's better. That's a good use of your mana. Nope. Nope. Yep, that's right. You can spend 2 mana to create additional elixirs of your choice, but you are limited by your level to how many elixirs that can exist at once. When you finish a long rest while holding alchemist supplies, you can create 2 elixirs that appear in vials. As you gain levels, you can increase the number of elixirs created this way. Level elixirs. Thank you, Timely Timer. What time is it? It's 2 o'clock. Okay, I've still got maybe like 40 minutes. We should be able to get through this one and start getting into the armor. The armor is going to take the longest, so maybe I should start somewhere else. When you finish a long rest, while holding alchemist supplies, you create 2 elixirs that appear in vials. As you gain levels, you can increase the number of elixirs created this way. Roll on the elixirs table below to determine what elixirs are created, or you can expend 1 mana to choose one of the effects. For each elixir created this way, to choose one of the effects. To choose the effect of each. You can spend 2 mana to create additional elixirs of your choice, but you are limited by your level to how many elixirs can exist at once, as listed above. When an elixir is drank, the vial vanishes. Let's do that. And then up here, and then down here, down. While holding an elixir, a creature can use a bonus action to give itself to drink it or administer it to another creature within 5 feet. The vial disappears. Period. Okay, well, that resolved the level 3 feature finally. Jeez, Mos. Let's go to level 5. Do we have a variant here? Alchemist Savant. Whenever you cast a spell using your Alchemist supplies as the spellcasting focus, you gain a bonus to 1 roll of the spell. Yeah, okay. I'm going to reword that for a bit, but I'm happy with it. And this one's called Alchemical Savant. Roll, period, blop, 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 blop. Almost done. Roll, that roll. Restore hit points. Or be a damage roll that deals acid, fire, necrotic, or poison damage. The bonus equals your intelligence modifier minimum bonus of +1, period. Okay, so whenever you cast a spell using your alchemist supplies as the spellcasting focus, you gain a bonus to 1 rolls. Whenever you cast a spell using your alchemist spellcasting focus that restores hit points, or deals acid, fire, necrotic, or poison damage. Add your intelligence modifier to the number rolled. Okay. I'm half tempted to have that roll applied to rolling on your elixirs table as well. So once you get to a 20 intelligence, you always get to pick what the potion is, so you don't have to spend mana on it anymore. That's funny. Except that you don't get to pick options from down. That's the problem, is you'd be eliminating some of the options anyway. I'm content with you spending the point of mana to get access to that. That's fine with me. All right, level 9, comma, period. Let's see, restorative agents. Oh, you know what? I should have for the alchemist. I should have chosen the invisibility potion illustration that I did. That would have been a better flavor match for today. Well, lesson learned. Restorative agents. You can incorporate restorative reagents into some of your works, granting the following benefits: fortify, chemical mastery. Okay. Chemical, no, restorative reagents. You incorporate restorative reagents into your elixirs. Fortify, period. Whenever you drink whenever you cast Lesser Restoration without, whenever a creature drinks an elixir you created with an experimental, the creature gains temporary hit points. Whenever a creature drinks one of the experimental elixirs, they gain temporary hit points equal to what, your intelligence modifier plus, equal to your intelligence modifier plus your artificer level. And restorative. Restore. You can cast Lesser Restoration a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of +1. You regain all uses of this feature when you finish a long rest. You can forego material components. You can cast Lesser Restoration without preparing it. Times goes on. You can forgo material components when you when you cast it this way, if you use alchemist's supplies as the material, as the spellcasting focus, to do so, period. You regain all uses of this feature when you finish a long rest, period. I don't know if there's a set way to actually write these things anymore, honestly. And then level 15. You gain they gain temporary hit points equal to your intelligence modifier plus your artificer level. You can cast lesser restoration without preparing it a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier. You can forego material components when you cast it this way. If you use alchemist supplies as a spellcasting focus to do so, you regain all uses of this feature when you finish a long rest. And you can expend 2 mana, no action required, to regain 1 use. And you can expend 2 mana, no action required, to regain 1 use of this feature. Which is the same cost of casting, except that it's a feature, so you don't actually have to have it prepped ever. So it is a perk. 15, you incorporate restorative agents. No. As a magic action, while you have a smith's tools in hand. No. When you cast an artificer spell, chemical mastery. When you cast an artificer spell that deals acid, fire, necrotic, or poison damage, deal an additional 1d8 damage, and if the target is resistant to the damage type, it is not. And a target loses resistance to the damage loses resistance to this instance loses resistance from this damage, and if a target would normally have resistance to this damage, it loses that resistance. Furthermore, let's just go to resistance. We'll leave immunity in place. That feels good. Alchemical, someone use that. How about potent alchemy? I like that better. Chemical resistance. You gain resistance to acid and poison damage. Conjured Cauldron. Ooh, what does that do? Remind me. Tasha's Bubbling Cauldron. Can't find it. How about Tasha's Bubbling Cauldron? Excellent. How do you do? 1 casting per day. Cool. You conjure a claw-footed cauldron filling with bubbling liquid. The cauldron appears to be an occupied space within 5 feet of you and lasts for the duration. No concentration, that's good. The cauldron can't be moved and disappears when the spell ends, along with the bubbling liquid within inside of it. The liquid in the cauldron duplicates the properties of a common or an uncommon potion of your choice, such as potions of healing. As a bonus action, you or an ally can reach into the cauldron and withdraw 1 potion of that kind. The potion is contained in a vial that disappears when the potion is consumed. The cauldron can produce a number of these potions equal to your spellcasting ability modifier. When the last of these potions is withdrawn from the cauldron disappears at the end of the spell. Potions obtained from the cauldron that aren't consumed disappear when the not consumed by this potion disappear when you cast the spell again, but otherwise they're permanent. Interesting. Any common or uncommon potion. Okay. Nope, that's not what I want. Origin, source, core. There we go, DMG 2024. How are we doing on time? I got about 20 minutes left, that's fine. And type of item. Potions. God damn it. Common. Uncommon. Oh good, it's all in place. Filter. Let's go. Woof. Potion of healing. Potion of water breathing. Potion of resist. I don't know why these are grayed out like that. Is that a color thing? Potion of pugilism. Drink the potion. Extra force damage when you hit. 10 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I'm good with all that stuff. Poison. Potion of healing, however, is actually poison marked by illusion. Take 46. If you drink the poison, take 46 poison damage. You must succeed a DC 13 saving throw, or be poisoned for 1 hour. Holy shit, that's really good damage. I mean, well, for 15th level, it's only okay. You get what, 5 of them? 20? Yeah, okay, that works. Cool, I'm down with that. There you go. Conjure Cauldron. You can cast Tasha's Cauldron of Tasha's Bubbling Cauldron. Without material, without preparing. And without any components. If you use alchemist supplies to cast it, you regain use of this feature when you finish a long rest period. Where are we at? 220 something? We're starting to get close. I feel like this is the place I should stop. So you gain additional alchemical options. That's horrible. All right, we're gonna leave that there. Yeah, I'm content with this. So we're gonna let this sit for the rest of. We're gonna let this sit over the weekend. When we come back on Monday, we'll be here. Are we gonna be here for Monday lunch? I think so. Okay, yeah. So when we come back for Monday lunch, we'll work on the armor and we'll get that done. And then Monday night we're gonna be back on. No, I'm not. I'm gonna be doing playtesting on Monday night, so I won't see you then. I'll be back Monday morning. Tomorrow at noon, like noon 30 East Coast time, like 9:30 a.m. Seattle time. We'll continue working on the Bastion campaign book. And then we'll do more Eberron art Monday morning. Monday night is Martial Power playtesting. Tuesday morning and then Tuesday lunch like usual. Wednesday is going to be a holiday. I will not be here. Thursday, I have the day off, so I'll have stream on Monday. I'll have a lunchtime stream for probably for this. And then we'll have Thursday night. We'll do Bastion design. Friday, I also have off. Friday morning, Eberron stuff. Friday lunch, we'll work on this. We'll probably have it finished, if not already by then. And then Saturday next week we'll have our brunch like usual. And then Monday I have off as well. What's the rest of my calendar looking like? I have Monday off, so I'll be doing a stream on Monday, lunch, and then Monday lunch, and then we have Martial Powers that night. And then Tuesday I have off. Eberron art morning, probably Spelljammer subclasses again on Tuesday, and then Wednesday I have off, so I probably won't be on stream at all, and then Thursday we'll be back to normal. So we'll have a lot of stream time coming up. If you think this stuff is cool, you want to catch more of it, want to see some artwork, or see me designing more books, like, subscribe, bell icon, blah, blah, blah. Join my Discord down below. Check out my books. I will see you guys later. Thanks all for hanging out, Steve. See everyone else in the future. Cheers.